Hi, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to day one of the Confessions of a Paper Addict cut file 20 Days of Summer or Christmas Cut Files series. I hope I got that right. That was a lot. So we were able to choose 20 cut files that we wanted to use for the first 20 days of December in videos. And the first day, the theme was I believe Christmas tree. And so I chose this tree. It's tree number 1. I think it's actually called Christmas tree 1. And I decided to use not only the outside, but the inside. So I am inking it up with some Distress Oxide ink. And I will show you the names of the colors. I believe it's Evergreen, Bough, and I can't remember what the other one is, but I will pop those up on the screen here as I finish up the tree. So I'm just layering it up. I don't want to make it all one color. I want it to have some variation in the colors because that's the way trees are in real life. They're not all just one static color. Much like most things in life, there is some degree of variation in them. So that is why I am choosing to use a couple of different colors or shades of green. So the first one that I used was a regular Distress ink, and I think that one is the one that is Evergreen Bough because I think I only have it in a Distress ink. And then I pulled out a couple of Oxide inks, and I am, like I said, I'll show those to you in just a few moments. And I'm just applying it with a blender brush. And I do find that the blender brush is the easiest way to apply these kinds of inks, or pretty much any ink, with the exception of going around just the outside of your paper. I still find that it's easier to use a sponge dauber when you're just trying to get the edge of the paper inked up. So I don't mind that there's some light spots and some dark spots. I think that's fine. It looks okay because, like I said, that's the way things are in nature and in real life. So having a flat color of green just made it look really flat and not dimensional. So here we go. We've got Bundled Sage and Rustic Wilderness, and then Evergreen Bough and Pine Needles. And the Evergreen Bough was the Distress ink. The other 3 were the Oxides. And then I pulled out some brown. I believe I'm using some espresso bean and some brushed corduroy, if I'm correct. I don't know that I actually hold those 2 up. And I'm just inking up the trunk of the tree. Pretty much any brown would do. It doesn't matter so much. And then I decided to flip through some Christmas papers that I have that are not really sorted by collection or anything. There's a bunch of Kaiser Craft in there, but I've got a bunch of different ones that I flipped through. And I ended up choosing this polka dot paper. And I really like the way that it looks. It's kind of playful and fun. It is from, I believe, Christmas Wish. It's an old one. It's by Fancy Pants. Oh, look, I'm smart enough to show you. It's Wishmas. So that is by Fancy Pants. And I have, I think a stack of, well, I don't have 25 left anymore, but I bought it at Tuesday Morning ages ago. And so I had a stack of 25 at one point. And then I decided to pull out some Mr. Huey's in Shine, which is basically like a silver color. And I am just brushing that on to the outside of the cut file just to give it a little bit of sparkle. And because I am going with this white cut file on a background paper that has a white base to it, I know that it's not going to show up as clearly as it would on like a darker background paper. So I thought by adding a little bit of shine to it would help it sparkle and stand out just a little bit more. And it does really kind of do a nice job of outlining the tree once it's done. But I do know that it's not going to be as bold with the white on white versus white on, say green or red or something like that. So what I did was I basically used my liquid glue and I adhered the bottom or the base of the tree down. And then I am working my way up, adhering the outline and then a little bit more of the tree and a little bit more of the outline, because I felt like if I put the whole tree down, some of those gaps would be too big for the outline to fit in. And if I put the outline down, it might end up wonky and then the tree wouldn't fit at all. So I'm kind of just working my way from the bottom up to make sure that they both stay so that they fit nicely together. So that is making me pretty happy. I'm just kind of tapping it down. There's a couple little spots there that I missed, so I'm just adding a little bit more of the Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. And this really is, in my opinion, the best glue for a cut file because it allows you to move things around for just a little bit, and it's easy enough to pull it up if you do it quickly. Whereas like a tape runner, it's not going to allow you a lot of play in the movement of the paper once it's down. And not only that, but most tape runners are too wide for the little lines of the cut file unless you use like a dotted tape runner. That might work well for you. But still, this allows me to have a little bit of time to move things around or slide things around if I need to kind of like squish them together or whatnot. And then the star, I decided I didn't want the star to be white. I want it to be gold. So I pulled out my Liquitex acrylic ink and I really put it on thick. I put a really good coating on this star. I'm just using my tweezers to hold it down in the middle so I can make sure I get all the way to the edges of the star. And then I decided to also put it all the way around a white piece of paper, but not thick. This is just like a thin layer to give a little added touch of gold. And I'm really liking how that's looking. So while I do that, I will remind you that this is a hop that a whole bunch of people are playing along with. Some people are playing every day. Some people are playing just when they can. So the links to everybody's channels are in my description box down below. You can go and see what they have chosen to work with because we all were able to choose whatever cut file we wanted. And so I'm sure there are going to be people who are playing along that are not using the same one that I'm using. Actually, more than likely, they're not using the same one I'm using because I believe Virginia has like almost 1,000 cut files in her shop. If I remember correctly, it was like 900 and something cut files, and that's a lot of cut files, you guys. What I'm showing you here is I took it to my sewing machine and I stitched some gold thread as though it is going to be the light strings. So while I was waiting for that gold star to dry completely, that's what I was doing. And hopefully you were able to see that, and I hope you can see it better in the close-ups. And then I went to my sequins and I decided to go and put sequins where the lights would be on that thread. And so I'm doing, I believe, 2 red and then 2, I want to say it's silver, and then 2 red and then 2 silver. And then I will put some ornaments on the tree as well. So I don't make you sit through all of the decorating of the tree because it is a very time-consuming process, but I do show you a little bit of it so that you kind of get the idea of what it looks like. So I'm starting out just with doing the string, if you will, of the lights, so that I can kind of get a visual as to where all of those pieces fit on the tree, and then see where I need to fill in around those. So I also wanted to tell you that over at Confessions of a Paper Addict from December 1st through the 20th, she is having a 25% off cut files sale. And I believe that's everything in the shop with the exception of bundles and if you need a commercial license. So go and check out her cut files, and you can get a really good deal right now for the first 20 days of December. And so hopefully you find something that you really like. And maybe you'll be inspired by some of the layouts that you see on throughout this hop. So make sure you go and check those out. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited to see what other people are using and what they're doing. And we're probably going to be flooding social media with cut file layouts. So definitely keep your eye out for that as well. So I thought this is a lot of fun. Some of these packs of sequins have little stars. Some of them are star outlines and some are little solid stars. And so I'm using a lot of those to decorate this tree as though it's just covered in a lot of little stars. And I really like the way that it comes out. It's pretty simple, just a tap of the tip of the glue, and then you can go ahead and stick it down. I did add some solid sequins in blue, just like you would have your ornaments or your baubles on the tree, and I'm liking the way that that's looking as well. So like I said, I don't make you sit through the whole thing because it is a time-consuming process, and we'd be here for quite a while. This video was well over 30 minutes if I left everything in, but I didn't leave everything in because you would lose interest, trust me. It's mesmerizing at first, but then it's not. So then I pulled out my tape gun. I'm going to go ahead and glue everything down to that paper that I put the gold border all the way around. And I'm going to stick that down. And then I have this photo of a tree that's got cards on it. And basically what I'm documenting here is that sometimes at our house, when you're going to get like, somebody's going to give you a gift card, or maybe it's like a homemade coupon book, like this coupon's good for a car wash, or this coupon's good for dinner and a movie, or something like that. And we will usually put it into a card, and then the card gets put on the tree as though it's its own type of little gift. So that is what is on the tree, and that is what I'm kind of talking about in my layout. So again, I took my Liquitex Gold acrylic ink, which dries really quickly because it's ink and not it's not like a mist or anything like that. And then I just basically used it to back my photo to give it a little bit of a border to help it stand out a bit. And then I went to my stamps from Elizabeth Craft Design, and this is a label stamp. It's a Christmas stamp set, but I use it for things that are not Christmas related as well, because there are some other stamps in this set. It has this one label, and then it has a whole bunch of words. Some of them say memories, some say Christmas, some say card, some say tradition. I just decided to use the one that says cards today, and I am stamping in Mardi Gras and Rockin' Red Catherine Pooler inks, and I thought those were the perfect colors to match the tree the best, and the red in the background paper. I'm just going to go ahead and hand cut those, or that label out, and I'm liking how that's looking. And then I'm going to stamp this other label. This is also, I believe this is also a Catherine Pooler, not Catherine Pooler, Elizabeth Craft Designs. It's either Stamp Market or Elizabeth Craft Designs. I'd have to go and look and see which one it is, because I have stamps that are very similar. I believe it is Elizabeth Craft Designs. I will put the names for both of those stamp sets down below in my description box as well. So I'm just stamping that in the Rockin' Red, and it's creating a place for me to do a little bit of journaling, and I'm liking how that's looking. And then comes the embellishing area. Oh, I am stamping off an extra one because I had just that little piece of paper, so I just, while I had it out, went ahead and stamped it. Then I went to my wood veneer and thought I would go ahead and pull some of that in, and quickly realized that swoosh is way too big, that big flourish. But I like this little bow, and I am not a bow person, so that is really beyond me as to why I chose that one. But it looked really good, kind of just hanging there, and so that's what I decided to use. And then I found some little ornaments, and I'm going to use those as well. In fact, I believe it's two different ornaments. One's a solid at the bottom of the tree, and then there is it's like an ornament that has two pieces to it, but it broke in half. You can see the double piece there, and then the broken piece, I just used them as two separate ornaments, and they just get smaller as they go towards the top of the tree, which was perfect because the tree is narrower at the top. So the weight of it worked well, and then I used the acrylic ink again in gold and just colored up the tops of the wood. It gives it a little shimmer, but it still has a natural look because the ink goes on very thin, and so it doesn't cover up the whole wood grain look, and I like the way that it looks. It just gives it a little bit of extra sparkle, and you'll see that much better in the close-ups. And then I'm just using my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive again to hold all of those things down. I find that it's going to work really well. You could use glue dots or something on that solid piece, but because these other ones are so thin, the pieces of wood are so like narrow, you really do need a liquid ink again, or again the dot adhesive would probably work as well. So I'm liking the way that that's looking, and I am pretty much almost done. I'm going to add this star to the top, which I know it's already got a star, but I'm adding a wood veneer star just to give it a little bit more dimension and to finish it off. And I kind of like the way that that looks. It's almost as if the gold star that was already on there is like a halo effect of the other star. So I also decided to put the gold on to the bow just to keep everything the same all the way throughout, and I really like the way that that looks. And I believe I'm going to add a little bit of gold splatter if I'm correct. And that is pretty much going to do it. So if you have questions or comments, you can leave those down below. I will get back to you as quickly as I can, and it does take me a while, especially when we're doing a video every day. It might take me a little bit of time to get back to you, but I do respond, and I do appreciate all of the comments, and I appreciate the time that you are spending with me today. I feel very blessed and fortunate that you guys chose to watch my channel today. So don't forget to go and check out everyone else who's playing along. If you don't mind, give me a thumbs up down below, and if you're not already subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. And if you are subscribed, thank you so much for subscribing and for watching. I will see you guys again tomorrow with another layout with another cut file. Here is the information as to COAPA's discount, and so happy shopping. Bye-bye.